Oh my gosh, you guys, I really wanted to come on here and be all inspirational. I also wanted to look cuter than this, but I threw my hair with a ponytail because I had a headache and I just could not deal with the tension that my hair was in earlier. So it is what it is. I am sitting here at my laptop. I've been sitting here doing work for like an hour and a half. I worked the majority of the day and then came back, had to go to my storage unit, organize some of the insanity that was in there, and it's still a lot. But I am now sitting here working on, so I'm trying to get some of my audit work done early so that I can kind of get a head start on next week, because the way that the last 2 weeks have been going, as far as there's no like consistency in all of my different areas. And don't mind this, I have my bed sheets in the dryer right now because I'm doing laundry. But I feel like there's no one, like there hasn't been a single week really in like the last 2 to 3 months where I feel like all the different areas of my life are flowing. It's either like one area I'm managing and the other ones I was like, okay, I'll deal with it later. Or maybe I can get 2 or 3 things going well, but then I'm like struggling throughout the rest of the week for something else, or my energy's really low, or my workouts are off, or it's just always something. And I just feel like I'm not getting enough time to prepare for the week to set myself up for success, because I'm taking on more, and taking on more is requiring me to have more time to prep so that those things can run in the background, because if I try to do them in real time, it's just not going to happen realistically. I've tried, but I have not been successful in it. And so, that's the benefit of the audit. It allows you to, on a week-to-week basis, see what is working and what's not working. I don't have to wait 6 months down the line or a year down the road to be like, oh, I should start doing this. I can see week 1, okay, this isn't working. Maybe it's just a bad week. Week 2, okay, I'm implementing some new strategies and I'm being maybe this successful in this way and not. By week 3, it's like, okay, cool, we need to change something. What has been done is not working, or it is working, but it's not working to the fullest of what it needs to work as, or its fullest potential. So we need to pivot. So I really wanted to prioritize today, at least outlining what next week looks like, blocking off time to do specific things, getting myself ahead, seeing what I already have in place, and then outlining. One of the hardest parts for me is content. I'm either able to keep up with posting the amount that I want to, and then other things go to the wayside. So like if I'm posting fitness content, because of the editing process, shooting it, all of those things, it detracts from me editing boards and platters stuff for my charcuterie business, or doing outreach for that, or working on new programming for potential clients, or any of the multitude of things I have to do, or cleaning something, or organizing my storage unit or something like that, because each thing takes a certain amount of time. And you have to also remember, I have to actually run the business. All the stuff that I'm talking about is outside of actually running the business. The business requires, at very minimum, my website takes in orders. I need to check those orders every day to make sure I know what my schedule is, and I need to update that schedule. I need to make a shopping list. I need to go buy the supplies. I need to make the boards. I need to travel there, deliver it, and set up potentially, and then close it out on my website. Like that is the very bare minimum of like autopilot that has to happen. That in itself is like a full day's work, depending on what I have to do, how many boards I have to do, what size they are, how much prep is necessary, etc., etc. That will let me know what my days look like. And there are days like yesterday, my first delivery was at 8 a.m. and I got back home. Let's see, I had the event 9, I think it was like 9:30. So between like the time I left until when I got back, which was 14-hour day, I was making, shopping, delivering multiple boards. I had an event, 3 brand ambassadors working for my brand. I had to go make sure that they arrived on time, deliver the materials that they need, make sure they're briefed, leave, go do other deliveries, come back, check in with them, record social media content, meet the client, wrap up, clean up, leave, clean out my car with all the, like, that's just that day. And by the time that was done, I was exhausted. And that's why yesterday when I recorded the video, I had already laid down. My body hurt. My body physically was in pain, just from like going. And when those types of days happen, it's hard for me to get food in, like the appropriate amount of food. And that's not even always a function of like not having it. I don't eat fast food. So what happens is if I don't have it on me, then I generally don't have time to stop and go get like something healthy or stop and eat. So I try to always make sure I have snacks or like a sandwich or something like that to kind of make sure I have food. But the thing is, for me as a person, when I get really focused, I forget to eat sometimes, which is counterproductive to my fitness goals because the intensity of my workouts does require me to have high protein meals and lots of vegetables and sleep. And so there's this kind of like battle between like what entrepreneurship looks like for me now from a boards and platters perspective and what my personal fitness goals need to be, in addition to creating other brands like Becoming You Fitness and training clients and trying to build out a book of business from there. They kind of clash. So I have to be really intentional, not to mention like personal goals, financial goals, family things that I want to do, friends I've been trying to catch up with. I feel like every single time I get invited to something, I decline or I have to cancel because work comes up. And I feel like I'm sitting in this space where it feels wrong to do anything but work because I'm not where I want to be. And I struggle with that a little bit sometimes, but I also, as I've said in previous entries, like this is the season that I've committed to, so that this transition of starting another business, starting my fitness brand, I'm giving it the energy that it deserves. So all that to say, another long day, but I'm here. I'm sitting at my laptop. I'm going to get a little bit more work done before I close out for the night because my first delivery tomorrow is at 8 a.m. And I need to be up, out, and ready to go so that I can go do those deliveries. And then I have 3 other deliveries after that one. So, yeah. And it takes me about an hour and a half to edit every fitness video that I do, anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on the video, depending on what I'm doing with it, except how fast my computer wants to be, things like that. And if I want to post 2 videos a day on TikTok so that I can grow my channel to the place that I want it to be, that's a lot of hours. And that's just for one brand. That's not for boards and platters, which in itself it needs to be consistently updated. It's not for Becoming You Fitness by itself. And those, because my brand is more like holistic, I don't want to say holistic, but well-rounded approach to wellness, there's a lot of research that it requires. And I am meticulous when it comes to research. Like, I don't want to just know that something works. I want to know how it works, why it works, what's affected by it, what happens if it doesn't happen, what happens in this case. Like, I really kind of deep dive. And so a topic like specifically the series that I'm working on right now, I had a simple thought about something I was experiencing, and now it's turned into what is probably a 9-video series for social media, because in order for me to break it down and really give the information in a way that is clear, science-backed, and salient, so it in the sense that there is a connection between the audience pain point and the information that I'm giving them. It takes a lot of time to get there. And if I was doing it for one brand, that'd be one thing while running the business. But trying to do it for what is essentially 3 brands / 4 brands, one coming back, it's a lot. But I'm grateful for the opportunities that I've had and the gifts of grace in the places that I feel like I'm falling short, and I feel like my driver is to know that it's hard, but it's worth it as long as I continue to do the work. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I did have a little like thought earlier today that I'll share with you guys. Two things. Number one, the first thing is I want to get better at, now that we've gotten past the point of like, overthinking. I'm getting a lot of notifications at once. Okay. Now that I've gotten past the spot of like overthinking how I look and whatever, how I'm showing up online, obviously, because what? The other thing that I really want to work on better on my social media platforms is sharing and posting. I have this thing where I'll record something and then I'll like, I don't want to, maybe it's overthinking it. Maybe it's like, I want to go through it. I want to edit. I want to make it, I want to post stuff. There's going to have to be times when I post in real time and I have to either figure out how to make sure that my content looks the way that I want it to, or just be okay with it not looking how I want it to. But either way, I need to be able to do that in order to effectively hit my content goals. So follow me on social media and hold me accountable. I'm going to try to do that more. Second point, while I was at my storage unit, I was loading some things into my car that I need for my business, things that I went through and I'm going to throw away, things that I'm going to donate tomorrow sitting in my car. Okay, cool. So I had to make a couple of trips because I have 2 units. One of my units is inside of the building. So I had to walk in through the building and down like a hallway or whatever. I couldn't carry everything that I was taking with me at one time. So as I was making a trip, I had to go back and forth. And like the second to last trip, I tried to take more than I could handle instead of wanting to make the trip. And it gave me a couple of reminders. Number one, know what you can handle, right? Don't pick up more than you can handle. It's okay to make extra trips. But know that if you are only going to take what you can handle at a time, which is okay, you have to be okay with starting over. And that was me going back to the unit, grabbing the things, going back to my car, and doing that as many times as was necessary to get the things that I needed to get when I needed to. Okay, that's number one. Then on the very last trip, I had 1 box. And so I started, instead of like doing the 2 trips, I was like, I really don't want to do this last trip because it's not like it's that heavy, but at this point I'm tired. I've been in the storage unit for like 2 hours. So I kicked that box to the thing. So what it made me think of is you might be able to take a little bit more. You might be able to take a heavier load, but you have to be okay with going slower than you expected. And that's exactly what it did. It slowed down the time from the storage unit to my car to load it up because I had my hands full, but I was also like shuffling the other box with my feet. So that's point number 2. As I load up the last materials in the car, I realize there is the cart that I use for my business sitting in my back seat. And it made me laugh because I could have gotten everything I needed in one trip if I used my cart. So the third point is, if you don't want to make a lot of trips and you want to carry more than you think you can, make sure you use the tools that are at your disposal. That was my lesson for today. So it was just I know that that feels like a very like deep way of like moving boxes, but that's the way my brain thinks about everything. And I found that to be really interesting because it's not always that you don't have the tools. It's that if you don't remember to use them, then it's just a cart sitting in your back seat while you take extra trips for something that could have taken you 1 trip. And there's nothing wrong with it taking as many trips as you need if you don't have the tools. That's okay too. That's life. That's part of the process. But sometimes if you can afford to go a little slower, take on a little bit more. That's okay. But if you have tools at your disposal, if you have community at your disposal, if you have access to things and strategies and processes and things that you've learned that will help you along your journey. Don't just hoard these things and not use them. Use them. It's going to make your journey easier.